Oh, god damn it. Man, Miles Eckhart, would you stop, dude? Would you stop? No means no, you Harvey Weinstein looking motherfucker. Hey everybody, this is Minion Soldier and this is the Piracy Show. And on today's show, we're talking about mythological spaceships that may never exist. Specifically, the ShadowHawk. Now, Painless Death submitted a comment on a video where he was asking, what did you think of the ShadowHawk? How would you use it? That sort of thing. And a lot of you might be looking or listening to this and saying, what the hell is the ShadowHawk? Well, the ShadowHawk is actually an obscure, yet to be created variant, and possibly not going to be created variant, of the Anvil Hawk. Now, the Hawk was, of course, a concept ship which we will be talking about more and more as time goes on, because it is going to be in production. It is slated to be completed with 3.4 by the end of this year, so those of you that own the ship can look forward to hopefully having it in time for Christmas. Now, why are people excited about the Hawk? Why are people talking about the Hawk? Well, the Hawk pretty much took the Cutlass's place as the poor man's Super Hornet. At least, theoretically, it could. The Hawk really is, for where it's priced at $90, which is, of course, when it was sold last year during the anniversary sale in November is when it came out. The Hawk really is, I feel, one of the best fighters in the game, even though it hasn't flown yet. It is one of the best appointed fighters in the game. It is one of the best laid out fighters in the game. And it also has the capacity to EMP people and carry away at least one prisoner aboard that ship. Now, the armaments may not seem all that crazy good on the Hawk, but you have to remember that's supposed to be 6 gimbaled size 1 guns. That's a pretty fair amount of firepower. Now, no missiles, but it does come with an EMP. Now, you may look at something like the Hornet and say, well, I mean, the Hornet's just flat out going to have it beaten firepower, but you have to remember the Hawk is still designated as a light fighter and weighs nearly half as much, and while still having more maneuvering thrusters, meaning this is going to be quite a nimble little bird. Though, obviously, as they stated, it is not going to be the fastest, though specific speeds were never given to us as the ship is yet to be built out. Now, the ShadowHawk variant was, of course, something different. Now, from the brochure, we'll read up the whole blurb that they wrote on it. The second variant is the ShadowHawk, a stealth variant intended for more advanced hunters and potentially military sale. At present, the ShadowHawk removes 2 guns in exchange for stealth armor, coating, and in addition to a data spike array. The ShadowHawk's future at retail is less certain, but it is expected to reach the prototype article stage before any decision is made. Now, of course, this got a lot of people interested, so people started immediately asking questions, and in the Q&A for the Hawk, they did address the questions as to whether or not the ShadowHawk would be coming out. When will the variants become available that are mentioned in the brochure? The variants described in the brochure are ships that exist in the fiction of Star Citizen's universe. Currently, there are no plans to implement these variants. Let's see how much you all like the original Hawk. For starters, smiley face. Now, I don't want that to dissuade you. I'm not having fun at your expense, and I'm not laughing. I mean, truthfully, would I like to see a hacking-enabled stealth Hawk? Yeah. I mean, asking Minion if he wants to see another stealth ship is kind of redundant, because you already know that I do. And as far as it being a pirate fighter, it's possible. I mean, pirates can use whatever ship that they want to use, whatever is handy, whatever you can get your hands on. it's not a question of what you use, it's how you use it. I mean, you could use a Banu Merchantman, you could use an Idris, you could use any number of ships. It just depends on how you employ them, and the tactics you use define whether or not you're going to be successful. I mean, you may have to look at certain ships and say, okay, this ship doesn't have a whole lot of reach, so there's very few situations where I can probably employ this ship and come away successfully. Some ships will be more suited to that role than others, but you can use whatever you want. And the Hawk does have a lot of strengths. Now, we've talked about the Hawk's speed. It is an undefined number. We don't know how fast it's going to be because it's not built out yet. So the difference in its speed and other fighters may be rather slight, or it could be a wider gulf. But I mean, it does carry a lot of firepower, so that is probably somewhat justified and is supposed to be maneuverable. So that's not the worst thing in the world. I do see potential. I do see strengths here. Now, the ability to haul away cargo is not one of them, but you are able to pack a few weapons aboard. So if you have to go to a certain location, you need a certain type of weapon. You got an ammo rack and you got a gun rack there that you can kind of fish into within that kind of body hanging off the back of the ship. So you can get what you need out of there, possibly body armor as well. But once again, we got to wait until it's built out. It's a good fighter. It's a solid fighter, and I would say that it holds a lot of potential, a lot more so than other ships that are currently in game or coming to it in that range. I really like this ship. I wish this was a ship that was always available. I think that it's kind of a missed opportunity that it isn't, but then again, it kind of creates that situation where people go, oh my God, when's the next sale? When's the next sale? Oh my God, it's for sale. I got to get it. I got to get it. It creates that panic buy scenario. And I think that in all honesty, just having it up on the store is probably incentive enough. You don't really need to kind of panic sell something like this, whereas something like a Hammerhead or a Polaris or an Idris would probably profit more from that type of environment. Now, one of the things that I like to do on this channel is I like to talk about ships very frankly. And I know that that puts certain people off, and I say things like, these are some of the issues with this ship. These are some of the things I don't like about it. Here are the things I do like, if indeed in some cases are there any things that I do like. But in all honesty, when you look at a fighter and you hear like, oh, these are the detractors, but these are the pluses, these are the good things about the ship, realistically, you can purchase whatever fighter you want to purchase. And if you're really willing to be honest with yourself, and you're willing to come at things not from an emotional place, but from an analytical place, and look at any fighter in the game and say, this is where it's strong, this is where it's weak. I have to focus on the situations where I'm strong and avoid the situations where I'm weak. You can't just sit there and say, oh, this is a really cool spaceship and I'm just going to go own up the universe with this spaceship regardless of the situation or circumstance. I'm just going to kill everybody, and then if I don't, then obviously someone's hacking, cheating, or, you know, it's a bug in the game. If you actually spend the time to work out what that ship is good at, if you really work at tactics which puts you in that ideal situation or very close to it, you're going to be very successful with just about any ship that you choose. So let me leave you with this. Are we likely to see the ShadowHawk? I don't know. I really don't know. I haven't seen anything beyond the original Q&A. If CIG has said anything about the ShadowHawk since, I haven't seen it. So I would say probably the probability of seeing it is a little on the low side. But overall, if you own a Hawk and you're sitting there thinking, well, man, I really just wanted the ShadowHawk and that's why I got the Hawk, don't despair, because you've got one hell of a little fighter there. And I think that in a circle strafing fight with an EMP in your back pocket as a nasty little trick to pull on somebody, you've got one hell of a fighter. And probably at one of the few times that I will say that it actually came in at a fairly bargain price compared to certain other things. So, you know what? If you do own a Hawk and you didn't get the ShadowHawk that you wanted, you still got one hell of a ship. Anyways, that's the show for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching. So if you want to keep up with the latest and greatest in Star Citizen and Squadron 42's development, please follow us on our social media channels. See you soon.